Hey all, it is Monday, July 6th. It is very, very windy today. It's also scalding fucking hot. We're gonna have another fucking heat wave, I swear to God. I'm gonna lose my mind if it's as bad as it was last time. It's gonna be like 30 degrees all this week. It's 30 degrees today, it's just really fucking windy, so you don't really feel it all that bad. Um, I've had a pretty productive week. I have all of my main adventures now up on RPG Trader. The issue I was having that I talked about last week, where uploads just took just a ludicrous amount of time, completely gone now. Either it's a symptom or a part of the process for new sellers where they have to sort of vet your first two products, like maybe it's that, or maybe it was just a bug that only I was experiencing. Either way, my remaining three uploads, all of them together collectively, probably took a total of about an hour and a half to put up, combined over the course of about 3 days. So yeah, all of those are up there now. I have a bundle that is available on there exclusively on RPG Trader. You can get the digital versions of all five of my current adventures for $30 in digital. You can get all five of them, and you can get all of them in print and in digital for 70, I believe, off the top of my head. I think it's $70, which is pretty expensive, but you're getting, individual print on demand print copies of of five books. So, you know, um, yeah. The otherwise this week, me and AJ have finished the sort of first editing pass of her adventure, The Spire That Sinks. I have done my sort of second editing pass, and we're gearing up for the first of what I'm hoping to be two playtests. I'm hoping is going to be two playtests this weekend on Sunday. I have one thing that I think I'm one edit that I think I'm going to want to have made basically no matter what, because I think there's something in the adventure that there's like just an outright better solution to the thing that needs to be. There's like a better way of doing something in the adventure than what is actually currently in there. But otherwise, I'm intrigued to see what people do. I'm going to be playtesting in Vagabond, potentially for the last time, because I'm hoping Wanderguard will be in a more playable state the next time I want to playtest one of these adventures. That's kind of my hope, at least. But yeah, the I'm going to be starting on preliminary layout for the Spire That Sinks tomorrow. I'm going to just get all the text in an Affinity doc, right? Like that's kind of all I want to do. That's going to take me like an hour, maybe two, depending on how things go. I just want to get everything laid out so me and AJ can get a scope of where art needs to go in the book and roughly how much we actually need. And I can start hunting for stock art as well, ideally. Um, yeah, that's basically what I did last week. Was worked on the Spire That Sinks. I had a bunch of like game prep going on as well, so I did some of that as well. Um, and yeah, I'm also this week I am hoping to start on those like revisions to my game Cape, ready to run it again for my brother and my sister and my sister's partner, over the sort of over August, late July, and then through August is kind of my hope. And then from there, I think, um, yeah, like those are my two big sort of things for this week. Is do work on the Spire That Sinks, get that done, and then make a start on these like Cape revisions because they're pretty. I talked about them a few weeks ago. They're pretty heavy revisions to the game's like core combat system. Um, I also need to make a start on this month's one-page adventure. It doesn't have a name yet. I have a page of notes or two on it in my other notebook. I'm pretty happy with what I have, but I don't have any I don't have any names. I don't have any rooms. I don't have any. I don't have. I don't even have an Affinity document open yet. That's probably going to be at the very least getting a visual language for that adventure is going to be a big like goal for for this week as well, if I can, because that could something I can do with an evening, without too much trouble. Um, but yeah, that's like kind of what I'm working on right now. What I want to be working on pretty soon. I'm gonna try and keep this pretty short because it's pretty hot out here and the wind is quite loud. Um, I also, oh, it's picking up. Um, ooh, yeah, it's loud. I'm under a bunch of trees, so it's obviously a lot worse. But yeah, it's loud. Um, Also soon, I need to start back up on this book I've been editing. I took like a couple weeks off. At this point, it's probably closer to 3 or 4. I was hoping to start at the beginning of July, but heat wave, and now there's another one coming. So awesome, great. um, yeah, I think I was hoping to start on like the 4th, start again. But I think with stuff with the Spy of the Sphinx is like my topmost priority right now because I want to have everything for that adventure ready for um, NGC. So we can. The hope is to either release right before NGC and then have print copies available at the convention, or have print copies available for the first time at NGC, and then release digitally the following week. Is like one of those two things is what I want. It's probably more likely to be the latter, and that's fine. I've done that before. I did that with Across the Open Threshold um, last year, and that was pretty well received. Like going to a con and being like, "Yeah, this adventure isn't even out yet. Like, it doesn't come out for another week. We're showing it here for the first time." People like that shit. So, if anything, the other may even be preferable. Um, but yeah, I 100% have like a little leaf shard in my eye, or an eyelash or something. Oh well. But yeah, I think things are going like okay on that front. Like I'm getting like a good workflow on the go right now. I was expecting the editing part of the Spy That Sinks to take a lot longer, but it did not, which was great. Like the adventure that AJ has, I think is really cool. It's got a lot of fun like set piece things in it. I'm intrigued to see what comes out in the playtest. Like really intrigued to see what comes out in that. Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at with those things. Otherwise, yeah, I'm uh, well. I'm giving myself a very ambitious week with the realization it's going to be 30 degrees basically every single day. But I am hoping that I will be able to sort of like power through. I'll be able to work downstairs a little bit, things like that. Provided I can get sort of like some space and be able to do stuff, then that will be ideal. Um, hmm. Yeah, I think in terms of this adventure for this month, the one pager, I have sort of like a vibe I'm going for. It's as ever with me, it's horror-ish, horror adjacent, horror like. I'm thinking color scheme wise, I'm kind of thinking like a fleshy pink, and then like a pale icy blue. Like if I can get those to work together, like if I get those to look good together. If I can't, it's just gonna be icy blue. But um, that's a very loud siren. It sounds weird as well. Or whatever. Yeah, it is about delving into the stomach of like a frozen monster, or the body of a frozen monster. I think the last time I spoke about it, it's sort of a mixture between that one Frozen thing in Subnautica Below Zero. God, that siren is so loud. Where is it? It's like it's echoing in a canyon. It's crazy. It's sort of like panning. Like I'm like pointing. Hang on. It's sort of panning that way, but it's doing it so slowly. Like there's not even really a road that kind of rings around this park. I mean, there kind of is, but oh, it is getting into the distance now. Normally, I would pause for stuff like that. It was just such a baffling sound the way it was carrying. Um, yeah, it's sort of a mixture of that like frozen thing from Subnautica Below Zero, the thing that it kind of like instigates the plot of that game effectively, and Lord Jabu Jabu from Ocarina of Time, which is like probably one of, if not the worst dungeon from that game, but it's really evocative going inside a big monster. Hell, the first two fucking dungeons in that game, is Jabu Jabu the second one, or is Death Mountain? No, not Death Mountain. Goron. I don't remember what the Goron dungeon, like the Child Link Goron dungeon is called in Ocarina of Time. I haven't played that game in about 10 years, um, but yeah, it's a mixture between the frozen monster and Lord Jabu Jabu's belly, or inside Lord Jabu Jabu's belly from Ocarina of Time, which has fun in it. Um, After that, I'm not 100%. I have a lot of ideas that I want to work with, but I'm sort of a lot of I'm getting I've gone through a lot of my more immediately gameable ideas in my like note stock that I have of like adventure ideas. And that's not to say that like the other ideas I have in there are like duds or anything, but it's like they're less. I would have to do a lot more work to think about how to game those spaces and make them. Oh, there's a bug. Make them interesting. I'm just trying to. I'm like holding my notebook behind my phone, and I really don't need to anymore. But yeah, whatever. I'm doing it now. Yeah, a lot of these other sort of dungeon ideas or adventure ideas that I have are sort of like themes and vibes, and I don't have a problem with that, but that's something I kind of want to steer away from with these one-page adventures, just because I feel like the weaker ones that I've written, or the ones I like less, are the ones that are like really gearing to a theme harder than they are gearing to being like an interesting dungeon, you know? They're sort of leaning on concept rather than they're leaning on style over substance in a way where like that wasn't something obviously that wasn't like my intention writing them obviously, but like that was kind of my takeaway from them looking back at them. Like I look at like um Ludus Maximus is a bad idea, a bad example because it's not really a dungeon. It's like an espionage thing. But also, like in writing Ludus Maximus, I'm also like, I'm not sure if I want to write one of those again. Like I don't know. Like I've written heist adventures before. I've written The Price of Justice as a 5e adventure, which I would love to port to something else, frankly. Because I think it works as a 5e adventure, but I would love to port it to something else. I don't know what else, but something else. But yeah, I look at that one. I look as much as I hate to say it, a detonation station. I really like detonation station. It's really funny. It's like a really fun concept. But again, it's sort of like it's focusing more on vibes than it is on being like an imminently gameable space. And while I think detonation station is distinct, is more than runnable. It's very very runnable. Probably very fun to run. I feel like again like I'm comparing all of these dungeons that I write to Daughter of the Well, and Daughter of the Well is very unfortunately I find is probably the best dungeon I've ever written, um, which it sucks to like look at like a one-page adventure that way, of it being like it's the first one-page adventure I think I ever wrote, and it's probably better than most of the published adventures that I have. Like for me, like I'd like objectively, maybe it isn't, but like that's just how I feel about it, which is a weird feeling to have, and I'm always trying to like one up that adventure, but it's like in seeking to one up it, all I'm going to be doing is comparing my work to it more, and that's more unhealthy than trying to just make good adventures independent of whether that one is good or not. Um, yeah, I have sort of like a similar feeling of just like a lot of the adventures I've written are like really really high concept, like really high concept, and I like the high concept. I think the high concept is interesting, but I miss just writing dungeons, you know, like like a Fathomless Bounty, and to a lesser extent like Where Fire Lives, and particularly at Daughter of the Well, and I'm like, these are the best things I've ever written, and they're all in their own way some of the first things I ever wrote, and I immediately veered off and started doing weird shit, and the weird shit was more stressful to write in a lot of ways, and I was less happy with overall. Like I think Rise of the Mole Men, I think is generally a pretty strong adventure. Hell, I think all of my adventures are like good. You know, I look at Rise of the Mole Man and Across the Open Threshold, and I'm like, these are cool adventures. I like them both, but neither of them have like the vibe. Neither of them have like the same sort of aura, you know, that Fathomless Bounty and to a lesser extent Where Fire Lives do. And Fathomless Bounty is like it's weird. It's a weird adventure. It's got like strange monsters in it because I was never writing it with the lens of God, I'm gonna have to get art of these, aren't I? Or I'm gonna have to explain what these fucking things look like. Or I'm gonna have to depict these, and that's gonna take time. I can't just use stock art for it because again, when you're working on a non-existent budget with exactly one artist with very limited time, you know, when I wrote Fathomless Bounty, I was never writing it with the intention of ever fucking releasing it. You know, and then I did release it, and I loved it. And I just don't have like, yeah, it's a tough position to be in. I don't think it's like catastrophic. It's not destroying my motivation. I still want to write Dungeons and Adventures. I still love it, but it is this like constant fight with comparing everything I write to stuff I've already written and feeling that the stuff I've already written is just better. I can make all of the like incremental improvements to like layout and templating and stuff. Like my templating has gotten significantly better, like very significantly better. But even then, like it's tough being in this sort of constant state of comparing myself to work I've already done. But yeah, I think that's something I'm just gonna have to deal with. You know, just fucking get over it. kind of. There's not really a way I can get past that organically. I don't think. And I think I'm just gonna have to keep writing until I look back at something and go, you know what, yeah, that is better than Daughter of the Well, or you know what, yeah, that is better than Fathomless Bounty, or better yet, you know what, I don't care if whether Fathomless Bounty or Where Fire Lives or Daughter of the Well are the best things I've ever written or not. I don't care. I'm gonna write stuff and I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna feel one way or another about it, and I'm gonna keep writing more stuff. That's kind of the mentality I'm trying to have. And I'm doing like an okay job of it, but like certainly with the one pagers, I'm like getting through that like, you know, being excited about a new project, really sort of getting, you know, pushing through it, getting really excited, getting that little bit of burnout halfway through, and then pushing through it and getting to the other end and being like, it's done now, it's cool, I'm happy with it, and then looking back 2 weeks later and going like, I'm going through that cycle a lot, like way more than I was, and in some ways that's good because it means I'm acclimatizing myself like to it. And in other ways, it's bad because I keep having to experience the same sort of like, it's not as good. But yeah, I think that's something I'm just gonna have to deal with. Otherwise, I'm hoping that I will be able to do things this week, and I'm not going to be just like dying randomly. I'm just really, really hoping that's it's all going to work. But otherwise, I'm going to try and survive this week. Hope folks, it's not as hot where folks are, and they can do stuff as well. And I will hopefully see people next week. So yeah.